microphone so we can sort of minimize any feedback. We welcome. We are going to
Okay. Good evening and afternoon to everyone across the diaspora, and thank you for joining us for I Am Garifuna, a celebration of women, heritage and heroism. We'll be starting shortly, so if you could please all make sure your microphones are muted. Take a moment to grab a cup of tea, hopefully some bush tea, and put on your headphones if needed and settle in as we get ready to begin. A very special welcome to our radio partners, Vin Abbott at Kankadi Radio and Bay Hill News Network, where tonight's event is also being streamed live. I'm Felicia Bailey and I'm from the National Council of SVG Associations in the UK. I'll be your host for this portion of the evening, and later on I'll hand you over to our lovely co-host, Marion Duncan in Ottawa, Canada, who's going to moderate our live panel. I hope you enjoyed the little bit of music we played. We do have a presentation by Kodra Mason, who will be joining us from California. So please enjoy that. And in a few moments, we'll get ready to kick off the evening in full. Thank you so much.
I'm Garifuna because of my father's side. So it really took me some digging, and once I had a conversation with my father, he kind of led me through some of the things that I needed to know. He couldn't hands-on teach me certain things because, again, he was also adopted from another family, which did not give him the chance to kind of be around the traditions of the Garifuna people. Thank you very much, Kodra. That was absolutely beautiful.
Welcome again to all, and to all the new guests that have joined us. A very good evening to you all. A very special welcome to the Honourable Chevron John, Minister of Social Welfare and Community Empowerment, Ecclesiastical Affairs and National Heritage, along with all our other distinguished guests from across the diaspora, community leaders and other friends that join us this evening, as well as all of you that have joined us from your homes. We have a really incredible programme planned tonight. So before we begin, just a few housekeeping notes. Again, please keep your microphones muted unless you're speaking to make sure that we can give the proper attention to all of our participants and speakers. A Q&A session is going to take place at the end, so please hold any questions you have until then. But if you do have a question that you want to be addressed, you can use the in-Zoom chat just to write down your question for us to note that. If you want to ask a live question later during our questioning portion, you can use the raised hand icon and wait to be invited to unmute. And of course, throughout, please give your full attention and your support and your kindness to everyone that has participated in making this event really special. Tonight, we celebrate women, heritage and heroism through inspiring remarks, cultural presentations, highlights from this year's National Hero Celebration, a panel discussion, and the event Spotlight, I Am Garifuna, a powerful Vincentian documentary by Dante Olivier. Of course, we'd like to offer a very warm welcome to our Garifuna family across the diaspora who are joining us here this evening or this afternoon, depending where you're located. Les damos la bienvenida, Buiti Bonafi. To kick things off, Noel, over to you. I do believe we're going to hear our national anthem sung in the Garifuna language, and that's going to be presented by the Fancy Government School. That was beautiful. Thank you very, very much to Fancy Government School for performing You're Mine, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines National Anthem. It's so wonderful to see our young people participate in heritage and culture in that manner. Thank you so much. That was a very warm. I'd like to now welcome Evangelist Samuel to lead us in prayer. Sorry, Miss Samuel, could you unmute, please? I think you're on mute still.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Heavenly Father, we come before you with grateful heart, united across ocean, land, and generation as one Garifuna family. Today, we honor the strength, the beauty, and resilience of the Garifuna women, past, present, and rising. We thank you for the legacy of our ancestors, for their courage, their sacrifice, and their unwavering spirit that live within us. May we never forget who we are and where we came from. May our culture, language, and tradition continue to strive within our home, our community, and in our heart, in our children. We lift up women we celebrate today, the mothers, daughters, sisters, leaders, and change maker. Bless them. We continue strength, wisdom, and courage. May they always know their worth, walk with their purpose, and feel the power of their voice. As we gather virtually, bringing homeland and diaspora together, remind us that distance does not divide us. It strengthens our connection. Let this space be filled with joy, pride, unity, and love. Guide this celebration that it may inspire, uplift, and empower. May our words speak and every story share reflect honor, truth, and hope for our generation to come. We thank you for this moment, this that we hear today, and to identify we proudly carry. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Evangelist Samuel, for your blessings. And this evening, we take a journey across the diaspora. So thank you for blessing that as we join guests and audience from across the UK, the US, Canada, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as well as our Garifuna diaspora in all their various cities. Thank you. Our next stop this evening is to Ottawa, Canada. So please join me in welcoming Suzette Small-Weeks, President of St. Vincent and the Grenadines Association of Ottawa, to bring us her greetings.
Good afternoon, beautiful souls. Thank you, Felicia. Honorable Minister John, community leaders, colleagues, our Garifuna family and friends. Welcome to the second edition of our Garifuna International Women's Day celebration. On behalf of the members of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Association of Ottawa, the Council of St. Vincent and the Grenadines UK, and the Kiwanis Club in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it is truly a pleasure to have you here with us. We extend special appreciation to our media partners, Vinabat and Kankadi Radio, Montier Bay Hill News Network, and Noel, for helping us amplify our stories across the diaspora. My name is Suzette Smallweeks, and what a joy it is to celebrate with you. I am Garifuna, and today we honor women, heritage, and heroism. As we gather, we stand on the resilience and courage of our ancestors, those who resisted, survived, and carved the path that allows us to speak proudly today. Their spirit walks with us, guides us, and reminds us of who we are. This celebration is more than an event. It is a reminder that no matter where we are, Garifuna identity must be honored, preserved, and kept alive. We do this through storytelling, especially through the lens of our creatives in film, showcasing yet another dimension of our homeland's culture and tourism on screen. Our hope is that what begins in the virtual space will grow into regular in-person screening across the diaspora, where our creatives can stand before us, share their journeys, and ignite meaningful conversations. Today, we also celebrate women who continue to break barriers and rise in every space we occupy. Yet, we must also acknowledge the work that remains. Women and girls around the world continue to face domestic abuse, and we all have a responsibility to advocate, uplift, and protect. This evening, you will experience a rich and meaningful showcase where we'll explore the life of an ordinary Garifuna woman, one who we rarely speak of, Lucy, daughter of Chief Joseph Chatelier. You will hear from a dynamic panel sharing their wisdom and the feature presentation, I Am Garifuna. So please settle in and enjoy the richness of today's experience. I Am Garifuna, a celebration of woman, heritage, and heroism. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, President Weeks, for those really powerful, uplifting words and a reminder of why we're all here tonight and the important topics that we want to cover. Now joining us live from Euromine, we have a very warm welcome to offer to the Honourable Chevan John, who's the Minister with Responsibility for Social Welfare and Community Empowerment, Ecclesiastical Affairs and National Heritage, a very fitting presence for tonight's event. Minister John is also proudly Garifuna. Honourable Minister, the floor, if you're available, is yours. I believe it might be possible the Honourable Minister might not be able to join us right this moment. Could I ask then if we have Mr. Clement Augustine available? He is our Garifuna representative. And if you'd like to say a few words if you're available. We also don't appear to have Mr. Augustine available just at the moment yet. Do we have any other Garifuna partners or guests that would like to introduce themselves and say a few words? Okay, it seems like some of our guests might have a slight delay. So what we'll do is we'll move on and we'll come back to our distinguished guests a little bit later on. So could I ask now that we move on to our cultural presentation of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So we're going to be in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Euromine still, and enjoy a very special dance presentation from the 2026 National Heroes Day celebrations, performed by the Renaissance Dance Company. A very, very warm thank you, deepest thank you to the Renaissance Dance Company for that beautifully choreographed piece displaying our Garifuna heritage. Thank you so much. I'd like us to head back to Canada now, and this time to Toronto for from remarks from Consul General Lasana Andrews. If Consul General is available, please. I think it's possible that Consul General is there. Yes, something is switching.
Good afternoon and warm greetings to everyone joining us from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the United Kingdom, Canada, and across the wider diaspora. I am honored to be part of this special occasion, She is Garifuna, observed in recognition of Garifuna Day and International Women's Day. At the outset, I commend the SVG Association in Ottawa in partnership with the National Council of SVG Associations UK and the Kiwanis Club of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for hosting such a meaningful event. As a woman and as Acting Consul General here in Toronto, this celebration resonates deeply with me. Garifuna women have long been pillars of strength within our families and communities. They have been the guardians of our culture, carriers of our language and tradition, and also leaders in times of challenge and change. Their resilience and courage continue to shape our collective identity across generations and borders. From our homeland to the diaspora, Garifuna women continue to lead in countless ways. Through community advocacy, cultural preservation, entrepreneurship, education, and service. They also remind us that leadership is not always loud, but it is always impactful. Today, our heritage endures because women have ensured that it does. When we speak of Garifuna heritage, we are speaking of the courage and strength of women. Here in the diaspora, we know what it means to carry our homeland in our hearts while building a life far from its shores. Our Vincentian and Garifuna women in Canada, and I'm sure in the UK and in other communities across the world, have done exactly that. Working, raising their families, contributing to their adopted countries while never losing their roots. It is also important to note that events like these are more than celebrations. They are the bridges that help connect our homeland to the diaspora. They connect the elder to the youth, and they connect history to the future. To every woman joining us here today, whether you're from Kingston or London, Ottawa or Toronto, I say this to you: you are seen, you are honored, and you are the heroism that this celebration speaks of. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Consul General Andrews, for your inspiring remarks and for giving your time to be here for us this afternoon, evening. Thank you very much. We're going to move to the UK now. Thankfully, it's not as chilly as Canada, but we are pretty cold, I have to say. And we're delighted to have some powerful spoken word even, by poet Andoni. Unfortunately, Andoni couldn't be with us this evening, but the work is going to be read by Marion Duncan from Canada. So Marion, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody. I will be reading a poem called It's You, Woman. You are a woman with captivating gaze, an appeaser of silent instincts, a beautiful spray of energy and brilliance. Your voice is like birdsong announcing the dawn. Your love pours sincerity, shedding tears from your heart, It reveals the faint tenderness of the most tender thoughts, a tempting fruit for those who manage to taste it, controller of torments, with its delicacy of illusion. Your kisses are intoxication for the indomitable homo. You are the living soul of the romantic song. Pour your aroma to the flowers that adorn nature. You become an inspiration for the most devoted poet. You are poetry that carries a veil of drama, restlessness and greed, passionate, full of pleasure, and filled with grace and much admiration. Thank you.
Thank you much, Marion, for your beautiful reading and, of course, the presentation of the words by our poet Andoni. Thank you so much. We are going to move on now to our special presentation. I've noted that our special guests haven't been able to join us just as yet, so hopefully they can do later on. So we don't need a reminder, but I'm going to remind us anyway that tonight's celebration is all about women, heritage and heroism. And our next presentation is going to reflect that theme. So we're very excited to showcase Agulisi, or Gulusi as she's better known, the daughter of Paramount Chief Joseph Chatoyer, a trailblazing Garifuna woman who was among the first to settle in Belize, yet whose story often goes untold. So enjoy this fascinating insight and fun facts about Gulusi, and I hope you take something new away. Thank you so much to our tech team for getting that ready for. And just to be aware for our guests watching, the PowerPoint presentation of Gulusi doesn't have any sound. It appears we're just having a couple of difficulties with having that streamed. So I'm very sorry for that to our audience, and just bear with us while we just get that sorted behind the scenes to play our presentation. And thank you very much for your patience.
It's a call for all Garifunas to come home to their motherland. Come and touch the soil your ancestors touch. Come and teach us all of the dances, the language and religions. Having you here going to mean so much. All those who scattered in the diaspora, Belize, Honduras and America. Now is the time for us to come together. Hail Garifuna, come let us sing, dance and beat the drum. Let's visit Bali, so our sacred ground. Great is our history, great is the Garifuna's legacy. Yo, 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 yeah, Garifuna. Come and release the pain that builds up inside. Show, I am Garifuna, loud and with pride. Great is our history, great is the Garifuna's legacy. Oh, yo, 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 yo.
Thank you very much. While we just sort that out so that we can able to share that with you again a little bit later, I do believe that Kavisha is with us, and we're going to move to her so she can get to a further engagement that she's got. So could I please welcome Kavisha to say a few words, and then I'll introduce you properly once you said a few words if you are around.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Are you guys hearing me?
We can hear you, Kavisha. Thank you very much. Good
Can
afternoon.
you guys see me? Can you guys see me?
We cannot see you, but we can hear you.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to start this off. Okay.
Okay, if you bear with us, Kavisha, while you try to do your video for us, we're going to play your introduction so that the audience knows some more about you.
Okay, no problem.
Meet Kavisha Richardson, Miss St. Vincent and the Grenadines Teen 2025, a driven and multi-talented young leader. Currently pursuing an associate degree in general studies, Kavisha is passionate about leadership, personal growth, and beauty entrepreneurship, with a strong interest in cosmetology. She is actively involved in community service, serving as a secretary for her Rotaract Club and public relations officer for her Ranger Unit, supporting youth development and community initiatives. Kavisha is also the founder of KS Trendy Closet 784, an online boutique where fashion meets entrepreneurship. Through her platform, she inspires young people to lead with confidence, creativity, and purpose.
Okay, I'm ready.
Perfect. So the floor is over to you, Kavisha. Thank you very much.
Hi, guys. So, I'm going to read on my topic. Are you guys hearing me? Let me
Yes,
just
we
make
got
sure.
you.
Okay, then. And I just, in a world that is constantly evolving, one thing remains deeply important: our identity. Standing with her means more than just support. It means recognizing, honoring, and uplifting the women who carry culture, strength, and history within them. When we speak about Garifuna women, we are speaking about resilience, pride, and a powerful legacy that continues to shape communities across the Caribbean, including right here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. St. Vincent and the Grenadines holds a unique place in Garifuna history. Our island is one of the last homes of the Garifuna people before their forced exile in 1797. Despite that painful chapter, the spirit of Garifuna people remains alive in our culture today, in our music, our rhythms, our food, and our stories. At the heart of that survival are Garifuna women. They're the ones who preserve traditions, who pass down language and customs, and who ensure that their identity could never be erased. Garifuna women are strong in ways that often go unseen. They are mothers, teachers, leaders, and culture bearers. Through drumming, dancing, storytelling, and everyday life, they keep their heritage alive. Their strength lies not only in what they do, but in who they are, women who have endured, adapted, and risen with pride. Standing with them means we recognize their importance, we listen to their stories, and we celebrate their contributions. As young people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we have a responsibility to keep this legacy alive. Supporting Garifuna heritage doesn't have to be complicated. It starts with learning, understanding our history, especially events like National Heroes Day, where we honor Chief Joseph Chatelier, a Garifuna leader who fought bravely for our land and our people. It continues with participation, attending cultural events, embracing traditional music and dance, and taking pride in the diversity that makes our country so special. Standing with her also means supporting the people around us. In our schools and communities, there are young women who may be discovering their identity or learning to embrace their culture. We can support them by creating spaces where they feel proud of who they are. Something as simple as showing interest in a friend's culture, celebrating heritage days, or encouraging each other to express ourselves can make a powerful difference. When we uplift one another, we strengthen our entire community. Hello?
We can still hear you, Kavisha. We can't see you, but we can still hear you.
Oh my, sorry, my camera's giving me a little bit of problems right now.
That's fine. If you want to continue speaking, by all means, please continue speaking to us.
Yes, as I was continuing, as a young leader, cultural pride means embracing every part of who I am and where I come from. It means I walk with confidence, knowing that my identity is something to be celebrated and not hidden. Representing St. Vincent and the Grenadines comes with this responsibility of honoring all aspects of our heritage, including the Garifuna influence that is a part of our story. I encourage other girls my age to feel proud by reminding them that their background is their strength. Their beauty, there is beauty in our differences and power in our history. Confidence grows when we know who we are. That's why it is so important for a young woman to stay connected through their roots, through their family, through community, and through culture. Whether it's learning a traditional dance, listening to stories from elders, or simply asking questions about our history, every step brings us closer to understanding ourselves. In conclusion, standing with Garifuna women means honoring their past, celebrating their present, and supporting their future. It means recognizing their strengths, preserving their heritage, and ensuring their voices are heard. Here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, their legacy is part of our identity. As young people, we have the power to keep that legacy alive, not just by remembering it, but by living it every day. When we stand with her, we stand with history, with culture, and with a future built on pride and unity. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Kavisha, for joining us and for sharing your words with us and some more about you and about your heritage and the things that mean a lot to you. Thank you very much. If our audience can just bear with us for just one further second, I'm just going to check if we can go back to our previous portion about Galisi or if we're able to move on. So if you bear with me just one moment, thank you for your patience and I'll just check on that. Thank you. Thank you very much, Noel, for getting that up for us. There were some really powerful insights and a learning experience for all of us. And I hope that every time we speak about the Garifuna, we remember Gulisi. If you ever visit Belize, be sure to visit the Gulisi Garifuna Museum and Gulisi Primary School in Dangriga. Almost forgotten, yet today standing as a strong symbol of Garifuna womanhood, resilience, and survival across generations. A very special thank you also to Dr. Joseph Palacio for reviving her story for the diaspora to share in. As we prepare now for the special screening of I Am Garifuna, enjoy this inspiring snippet from Hail Garifuna by Zamfir, a call to honour our heritage and answer the call to return to our motherland. This snippet sets the stage for the screening, so to enjoy it to the fullest, please keep your microphones muted, top up your tea, and sit back and enjoy. Thank you.
I'm Garifuna because of my father's side. So it really took me some digging, and once I had a conversation with my father, he kind of led me through some of the things that I needed to know. He couldn't hands-on teach me certain things because, again, he was also adopted from another family, which did not give him the chance to kind of be around the traditions of the Garifuna people. I would say I'm still learning a little bit about the food. I know about the modongo dumpling. That's everybody likes the modongo dumpling because it's really grated coconut and So who don't love dumplings?
The sweet potatoes. This is the white one.
Oh yeah. That's okay.
You like ginger so.
Yeah, these gingers, I thought they were gonna be a little bigger. And that's basically what ginger look like. Very strong scent. Oh right, cinnamon bark for sure. We have a powder. We have a powder that we use.
Yeah, we just use
but
the
this is
powder.
also more powerful
I
in my
like it that
opinion.
more local.
Normally I normally boil this to drink whenever I have like a headache. I think it helps me very well with a headache, along with the ginger, of course. Sandy Bay has a lot of Garifuna practices going on still. So most persons, when they hear about Garifuna, they tend to draw a little bit to Sandy Bay. The culture has been evolving, and most persons just attach to it basically because of the drumming and most of the activities that happen in Sandy Bay. What is this? Calabash. Teaching my daughter has been a great experience. She's learning so quickly, and hearing her respond to me in Garifuna is something that warms my heart. He sent Bunu. Say that. He sent Nabu. Yung wagi. No, sorry. Sung wagi. Ari du hang you. So, he sent Bunu. Sung wagi. Ari du hang you. Oh, Burabana. To preserve the language, it didn't happen much because maybe again the same fear. The fear to speak the language so that they could be identified.
Right. And then the British force
Force English on us. Yeah. I know that for sure. When persons from Belize, Honduras, New York, when they come in to pay homage to St. Vincent, I feel mixed emotions because sometimes we really don't understand. Some persons could come from their home and come back and call St. Vincent their home, but we truly don't understand ours. We don't understand each other. When I look at the dances and the drumming and the language that they speak when they come, the one that I was taught, I could speak to them back in our language when they came to, do the trip to Baliso. I saw a lot of the practices. They're very identical to what we would do in St. Vincent and call it our heritage. So that I know we are connected in some way. My question to you is how do you think is a better way to move forward in terms of preserving our culture and its food without everybody being in denial?
Well, right now, we will have to start
somewhere
in the school.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Totally agree with you.
Educate the youths, right? And then when the youths take it home, then the parents will show a bit of interest, and then you can get the parents now to learn from the children, or even get some evening classes with the parents.
Yes.
Because when they hear that their children are speaking the language and they can't understand, they would really want to understand.
They would really want to
what
understand.
the children is really saying.
Music brings everybody together. If you ever notice any music that's playing anywhere, you would either see people dancing. So music is a great connection. The Garifuna culture is very expansive. There are a lot we can do to actually bring it alive, and it just helps with a little effort, not just from the people, from the elderly, but also from the government that could help us to implement most of what we can do.
That was such a beautiful display of Garifuna pride in motion and such a powerful learning experience. So big congratulations to Dante Olivier for his filming work and his film he's produced, and Eureka Games for bringing their vision to life. Thank you very much. Let's give them a very big round of applause, and we will hear from them live during the panel. I think at this stage we do have Minister John, who is able to join us now. So if I could invite the Honourable Minister John to join us. We don't appear to have Minister John just quite yet, unfortunately, I'm afraid. If I could invite you to use this opportunity to give yourself a stretch, some breathing space, go and get a cup of tea, something to drink, and just bear with us a few moments as we just see if Minister John is available. Thank you so much. While we wait for confirmation from Minister Don to see if she's available, could I perhaps ask that we move to our Calypso piece from Fire Empress for the audience instead?
Hello, everyone.
Oh. Welcome, Minister John. It's wonderful to have you with us, and the floor is yours.
Oh, sorry, I'm on the road, so that's why I'm doing everything. But I am sorry about that for the time that it takes to connect. Let me say good afternoon to everyone on the platform. I'm not sure what protocol there may be, but let me thank you for inviting me to this conference. She is Garifuna. Very interesting theme. Sisters from across the world, the nation, I am honored to be part of your discussion here today as a proud Garifuna woman and representative for the constituency of North Windward, which is considered as the Garifuna community, as one of the Garifuna communities. Let me commence with the words from the Holy Bible, Proverbs chapter 31, verses 25 and 26. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. We are here as a living proof of resilience, born of struggle, sustained by faith, and renewed by the love we hold for our homeland, Urame. And this verse is just profound for all of us. Today we can boldly and proudly proclaim that we are Garifuna. We are the keeper of our language. We are the keepers of our traditions. And we act as guardians of our sacred sites. We can boldly say that we are the bridges that help us connect between our homeland and the diaspora. Over the years, Garifuna women have cemented themselves across many countries, from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, New York, Belize, Honduras, Guatemala, London. You can find a Garifuna woman. They have also taken up the responsibility to teach the traditions, the dances, the language, and also to honor our ancestors with dignity. Garifuna women continue to show strength in their leadership and vision. And right here at home, where the traditional language we are trying to bring back to our schools, and it is being taught in modesty, it is done by Garifuna women in leadership position. Sisters, when one think of our Garifuna story, the question is what comes to mind? And many will say the warrior in us, the fight that pursued us over the years for the things that we owned. This is what may define the Garifuna story for many, our boldness and our heroism. But today, the story of heroism not lies only in us being warriors, but also in taking the time out to organize this very event, in taking the time out to defend others, and to continually nurturing our families. These are the things that continue to shape our Garifuna story. It is important to note that while we may be far apart, we can affirm that culture knows no borders. Our pride knows no limit, and our women voices continue to echo across continents. It shows unity between homeland and the diaspora. My dear sisters, as we celebrate Garifuna and International Women's Day, let us commit to amplifying women's voices, protecting our heritage, and inspiring future generations. May this unity shows our strength, and may our women forever celebrate as the pillar of Garifuna identity. I will really like to thank the organizers of this event and wish you every success. May God bless us, and may we continue to share our unity and our passion together as women, strong and fierce. Thank you so much, and I wish you every success.
Honourable Minister, thank you so much for joining us and fitting us around your schedule. We really greatly appreciate that, and you gave us some very inspiring and powerful words. So thank you very, very much for joining us.
Thank you. I may not be able to stay on for a while. I'm now traveling up to Fancy. I came from church, came to Chester. Now I'm traveling up to Fancy to we have a closing netball ceremony that is going to take place there, and I must be present. So I thank you so much. Sorry I can't be on for much longer, but all the best. And thanks for the invitation.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Before we move on to our panel discussion, based on the wonderful film by Dante and Arika that we saw, can we take a moment again, if you need to, stretch, breathe, reflect on the film, and reflect on the Honourable Minister's words. And we're going to move on to a snippet of the Calypso piece by Fire Empress, I Am Woman, which sets the tone for our discussion. We are so grateful to be joined tonight by dignitaries, partners and supporters, and a special thanks again to Vin Abbott and Kankadi Radio and Bay Hill News Network for streaming this event for us. It's been an absolute pleasure to share this part of the evening with you. I've had a wonderful time introducing our speakers, our guests, and learning more about our heritage and our country. So I'm going to top up my tea. I'm going to give my voice a break. And after the song, the wonderful Marion will take over for the panel discussion. Thank you very much.
Woman, 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 woman. Woman, 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 woman. Hey. Whoa. Woman, 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 woman. Life is a journey, and I'm part of it. Life is reality, it is not a myth. A woman was made a man's companion since the days of creation, to reproduce and replenish the earth. A woman's role is something of worth. I am woman, from the rib of man. I am woman, virtuous woman, a woman with pride and dignity, with extra love for humanity. I'm gonna show my identity, 'cause that's the woman in me. Whoa. Hey. Alala, way, woman, 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 woman. The Garden of Eden, yes, that was my home. Temptation struck when I was left alone. The tree of life held my destiny. The apple of strife was given to me. And with all that put in context, a woman was labeled the weaker sex. Still I'm woman, tempted woman. I am woman, seduced by Satan. Weakness caused woman's disobedience, and sin became man's inheritance. And woman, talking about woman. Selective woman, a woman with strength in the family, a symbol of hope, trust and harmony. It is my philosophy to protect that woman in me. Life is a challenge for me as a mother, but life is a privilege, and motherhood is an honor. Man should cherish woman like gold for bringing their offsprings into this world. Treat her with love, honesty, and care, and for man she will always be there. Talking about woman, serious woman. Talking about woman, marvelous woman, a woman with pride and dignity, with extra love for humanity. Brave women, show your identity, 'cause that's the woman in we.
Hello, everyone. We truly hope you've enjoyed the program so far. First, a round of applause for yourselves for staying with us for the final and very special segment, our panel discussion. What an incredible journey it has been today, guided by our amazing host, Felicia Bailey, enriched by remarks, cultural performances, and the powerful documentary, I Am Garifuna, by the talented Dante Olivier, featuring the captivating Eureka Games. In this segment, you'll have the opportunity to hear directly from Dante and Ulrika, along with our distinguished panelists. Before we begin, allow me to introduce myself. I am Marian Duncan, a youth member of the SVG Association of Ottawa, and it's truly an honor to serve you as your moderator. Today's theme, a celebration of women, heritage, and heroism, honors the strength, resilience, and cultural pride of Garifuna women across generations and throughout the diaspora. As we celebrate International Women's Day, this panel will explore that theme through storytelling, lived experiences, leadership, and inspiration. Please ensure your microphones are muted, refill your cup of your favorite bush tea, settle in, and get comfortable as we begin. Before we proceed, just a few quick reminders to keep your microphones muted unless speaking. The Q&A session will take place at the end, so hold on tight to your questions until then. Questions may be posted in the chat at any time. To ask a live question, use the raise hand icon, so that's on the reactions, and you will see raise hand at the top, and you will be prompted to unmute. And as always, please remain respectful, supportive, and kind throughout the discussion. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Dante Olivier, the film director. We will allow, sorry, Dante. We will allow a little bio to be played before you go on. Sorry about that.
Meet Dante Olivier, a Vincentian filmmaker, storyteller, and creative director, bringing the stories of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to the screen. As the founder of Offhand, Dante is an emerging voice in Caribbean cinema, creating films that explore memory, culture, and national heritage. His work is rooted in authenticity, sharing powerful stories that connect people to the spirit and history of the Caribbean.
So Dante will speak on directing our legacy, preserving Garifuna women's stories through film. Dante, the floor is now yours.
All right, thank you. And good afternoon or good night, everyone. My name is Dante Olivier. I'm a creative director and the director and editor for the film I Am Garifuna. Just want to say thank you, for having me today. And it's an absolute pleasure to be able to, speak about this film in depth and in context with everything that's been discussing today. Directing this film gave me the opportunity to sit with Ulrika and to speak with her and learn about her. And she's a central voice of the story, and she's someone who's actively practices and preserves Garifuna culture. I had the opportunity to learn more deeply about the culture, the identity, and the importance of preserving the Garifuna heritage. To me, directing our legacy means taking ownership of how our stories are told. It's important to know who tells them and how they are framed and how they are remembered. For this film specifically and for Garifuna Women, it's powerful because many of these stories have traditionally lived on in oral forms through memory, song, and lived experiences. Film allows those voices to be reclaimed and preserved in a way that can transcend generations. Um, Film is unique because it captures more than just information. It captures emotion, presence, and the identity altogether. And this is something that we experienced while filming this documentary with Ulrika. And I remember, when we were filming this, we had about 2 days, I think, to film, and we had completed the 2 days of filming, and I wasn't satisfied with, what we've captured so far. It didn't feel like the right representation, and we decided to treat it just more than just a documentation. It's a form of reclamation, and this is something that we learned, after speaking with Ulrike and having her interview, and this allowed us to unfold the story how it was meant to be, and it allows Garifuna women to see themselves, hear themselves, and you know how they'll be remembered on their own terms. Um, One of the biggest responsibilities in translating Garifuna storytelling traditions into film is translating it without losing, the authenticity. Our culture is rooted in rhythm, movement, and oral story. So instead of forcing those stories into a rigid structure, we let those elements guide this cinematic language. That means using, music, rhythm, and storytelling tools, allowing space for silence and letting the story unfold naturally. Authenticity came first, while we were doing this, and filming second. Um, with this film, the inspiration came from exploring identity, and a lot of the props will go to the producer of the film, Julian Allen. He's not here today, but he is the one who invited me to direct this film, and we really wanted it to be about the main theme of rediscovering your identity, and what it means to return to your roots after distance or disconnection. And I think this was a journey for myself, and I know it was a journey for Ulrika as well. And we had so much joy creating this. Ulrika, her story was essential, and because it was deeply personal and honest. Her journey of rediscovering her Garifuna identity reflects something many people experience, which is a sense of disconnection and reconnection. Her story became a lens through which we could explore identity in a way that feels, relatable and real and human. Um, as a director, there's a responsibility that goes beyond storytelling. You're working with someone's identity, their ancestry, and their truth. So we approach this by prioritizing authenticity over aesthetics, allowing the story to guide the visuals rather than shaping it, just for entertainment. Um, it's not just a creative piece; it's cultural preservation. So directing our legacy is ultimately about ownership of our voices, our stories, and our future. And when we tell stories, as important as the Garifuna culture and specifically Garifuna women, we are preserving history. We're not just preserving history; we're actively creating it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dante, for sharing your vision and reminding us of the power of storytelling in preserving our culture. Next, we welcome Eureka Games, the powerful lead featured in I Am Garifuna.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Eureka. Sorry, we'll have a bio played. I'm so sorry. I forgot
Go
to mention
ahead.
that as well.
I just wanted to make sure that I'm present and you can hear me.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
awesome.
Meet Eureka Games, a proud cultural advocate from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and a passionate youth voice for the revival of Garifuna heritage. Featured in the documentary I Am Garifuna, directed by Dante Olivier, Eureka's journey of reconnecting with their roots has inspired a new generation. Through the Yuga Cure workshops led by Trish St. Hill, she has embraced her calling as a singer, dancer, and a cultural educator, teaching the Garifuna language, music, and traditions. Her mission is clear: to keep the culture alive and empower young people to proudly embrace their Garifuna identity. Go ahead, Eureka.
All right. Hi, everybody. I am Ulrika Games. On screen, I am Ulrika Games. I am Rika Games. I am Mrs. Trail. I'm actually married. So there's a lot of things I would want to share with you today. I was having some issues with my laptop and internet connection right before I came on. I would like to say hello to everyone on here. I recognize a few persons, including Mrs. Jada, Miss Jada Stevens. I am honored to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to honestly speak and give my own understanding of everything that has been going on with when it comes to the Garifuna, I Am Garifuna film. Just give me a moment. Let me try to get my speech organized. As you may be able to tell, I am a little nervous, mainly because of the pressures of, being in a position to speak, not on the behalf of myself, not on the behalf of any young person, but on the behalf of young girls in general. I would definitely like to start with identifying what Garifuna womanhood means to me. I have been a young person that struggled a lot with not identifying who I am, but there are some silent things within myself that I couldn't truly understand. And I came here today with an entire speech written and crafted for you, but I feel more natural when I speak um, to people, and they're more interactive with me as well. I want to share a little bit about how I got into the Garifuna learning. I started learning the Garifuna because of the cultural retrieval workshop in 2012, I believe. Mr. James Lavelle was a teacher that made me understand that, whoa, there are deeper things within inside you. And that's where the resignation came in. I resonated so much with who he was. I loved the drumming, I loved the dancing, I loved everything that came with the Garifuna. Again, I grew up in a single parent home. So without my father being there, there were some things that I felt absent inside of me. And we, as young people, we understand that women, not just women, but young ladies, go through different things inside of them that they are not able to regurgitate or speak about. So I would say that there are some things that I struggled with. I met Kobayashi Productions in a very pivoting time of my life, if that is the word. And he was such Kobayashi was such a guide that I felt unsafe. Dysfunction, not knowing what you want. I think it's something inside of all Garifuna women that we have to have a silent strength to. We have to have that silent strength to figure out which direction we might want to go, even in the struggles that we may be carrying inside of us. So, I I got pregnant. I got into a relationship, and that I thought was healthy, but it wasn't truly healthy, mainly because of my family's history. My mom kept repeating some patterns, and I saw myself walking directly into those patterns as well. So, my encouragement, to be honest, to any young woman, you have that within you to honestly just honor yourself wherever you are. Even if you feel like you made your choices um, without knowing, even if you feel like you made your choices because of a pattern, it's like a system that runs inside of you, but you don't want to make different choices. So I would like to say that it's more so like a loop. You've been in a loop, but you have the ability to get out of that loop. I don't know if anybody is following me. Maybe because I wasn't structured and more of my I'm more so nervous. So sorry guys. I should have read. But to the Garifuna identity. I would want to comment on the Garifuna identity. Garifuna identity isn't just someone wearing colors, someone just dancing and saying, "Hey, I'm Garifuna, I'm strength." We are often celebrated for our strengths, but there are some struggles within us as well that we want to address, but sometimes we really don't even have the help or assistance to do these things. So I would say to any young persons, you have people that you can talk to, you can connect with, there are persons that you can give, that you can speak with, to be honest, because if you don't understand, you keep yourself in the loop. I am going to read. I feel a little bit also unprepared because of my speech and my issues I was having with my laptop. I'm not even sure how much more time I have on on here, but I for me, Garifuna womanhood is not just an identity, it is a responsibility. It is the strength of our ancestors, it's the spirituality that grounds us, and the resilience that continues to carry us forward, even when moments and our lives feel uncertain. For a time, I believe that embodying Garifuna womanhood meant presenting it perfectly, sit perfectly, put a crown on your head and look nice. Look looking the part, speaking the part, always appearing culturally and correct. So what I just did was show you that we could be raw, we can make mistakes, we can stutter, we can be who we are and honor that. It is how we live, it is how we endure, it is how we remain rooted in truth even while we are still growing. In everyday life, I embody the legacy, not through perfection, but through my intentions. As a woman, as a mother, as a newly wife, and as someone navigating real life challenges, I choose to stand in authenticity. And even in moments where I feel like I am simply surviving, I remember myself that I remind myself that survival itself is part of our legacy. So it doesn't matter if you feel like you're behind, it doesn't matter if you feel like someone else is doing better than you. my encouragement to any young lady, you can thrive. You have the ability to honor yourself wherever you are standing. And with support of people around us, I was very happy that the government made arrangements for our history to be told and for persons, actually Garifuna leaders, to go into the schools to teach our authentic history, our authentic languages and history. So Garifuna women are often described as strong, spiritual, and leaders culturally. Because I don't have a lot of time, I am going to jump straight to what I was feeling. To be honest, when I was on that film, when I was contacted to do that film, I feel like I was channeling what was inside of me, because I wanted to see the government doing something about our history, about our truth. I grew up understanding and knowing about Joseph Chatelier, but we only heard stories of Joseph Chatelier being killed. So my advice right now, every young person should just look at your generation. Look at your patterns. If you think that you are repeating a pattern, look at your mom, look at your father. If you think that you're repeating a cycle, that is the loop. That's the loop. So what choices we make to go forward, I would say I'm in a better place. I'm healed on a healing journey as well. More so, so many things are running through me at the moment as well. And I really wish I could have started over. But thank you to um John Tate for giving me the opportunity to capture the authenticity, because they actually had something else. They had different questions, and I just figured that channeling would have been the better way. I remember Dante asking me, "You don't know the people in Sandy Bay, do you?" And I was just there. I do know the people in Sandy Bay, but the I Am Garifuna film was honestly just to say something publicly. As Garifunas, yes, we live the legacy. We are still living the legacy. We are still going through the things that we have to go through. But it is okay to honor yourself wherever you are. Whether you think you didn't make whatever choices in the beginning, you didn't forgive yourself for making another choice, you see patterns. But this pattern of survival, and I'm not saying survival is bad, but this pattern of survival is what we must honor the most. Thank you.
Thank you, Rika. After hearing you speak, it's clear why you were the perfect choice for your role in I Am Garifuna. Now we take you to the United Kingdom for our next speaker, Dr. Joan Bailey. We will have a bio for Dr. Joan Bailey. Dr. Bailey will present on standing in solidarity, protecting and empowering Indigenous and diaspora girls through young justice.
Meet Dr. Joan Bailey, MBE, a respected leader in youth justice, social work, and community development with more than 40 years of impact. As Director and CEO of the Safer Luton Partnership, she has led transformative initiatives supporting vulnerable youth and women, both locally and internationally. In 2010, Dr. Bailey was awarded an MBE for services to youth justice. She also lectures at the University of Bedfordshire, where she was named Teacher of the Year in 2019. Her work continues to champion community cohesion, conflict resolution, and the empowerment of diverse communities.
Dr. Bailey, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Marion. So good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. It was really hard to pull together something in a short space of time. There were so many things I wanted to say, but I'm going to try and just put out those issues that affect women, draw in to the challenges, particularly for young people, and then end with some really positive things about what we can all be doing. So, some of these things you'll know, but they're hard facts that need to be reiterated again and again so we really are aware of them. There are some 281 million international migrants, with women and girls comprising approximately half of them. People move across international borders for many reasons: to pursue opportunities in life, to study, to develop careers, and to be with their families. And others are driven to move because of poverty, political instability, insecurity, and violence. Migration is gendered. Laws, policies, and practices have a disproportionate impact on women, and many situations increase those women's risk of abuse and exploitation. And a lot of those women, they'll be very reluctant to seek help and protection from state authorities for fear of being arrested and deportation. Evidence of structural oppression of black, minoritized, and migrant women, or the risk of contact with the criminal justice system, and I'm going to say that about the UK first, is very clear in the briefest look at official data. So, for example, in 2021, women and girls from those groups were overrepresented at all stages of the criminal justice system. In 2022, black women were 4 times more likely as white women to be arrested. And in the prisons, we have evidence that 14.7% of the remanded admissions of women to prison were black women. And so those figures reveal racism layered on top of misogyny, stigmatization of people traveling from different countries, and religious discrimination. And based on what we know, structural oppression is endemic in multiple overlapping spheres of black women's lives experiences, which include education, protection from violence, protection from modern slavery, human trafficking, housing, welfare, health, social control, and immigration. So the less they can participate effectively in interactions with the state authorities, exercise their rights fully, and thrive, there is a greater risk that they will become involved in criminalisation. And girls, particularly from ethnic minority groups, right, particularly the black communities, they are very much overrepresented in the criminal justice system. So statistical evidence in the US and Canada, and I tried to bear out some from Canada as well, just to, make it even, show the disproportionate number of black girls being arrested, detained, found guilty, and imprisoned to sentences that were completely inconsistent with their white counterparts. So we have a lot of research around people coming from the Caribbean countries, from other black countries, and lots of research about why some of this might happen. And there was so much that I could present it here, but I wanted to pull out something particularly about Caribbean migration to the United Kingdom, but also USA and Canada. And that's been common since the 1940s, after the post-war, when there was a labour shortage in many of these countries. Some of that research focuses on the impact of migration on children who were left behind in their country of origin. And one of the things it talks about is that the attempts to integrate children into a host country with limited resources, a diverse and competitive culture, hostile attitudes, and inadequate migration support has many challenges for many of the young children who end up in those countries and then find themselves landed within the penal system. So I've already said to you about the disproportionate sentences of black young people in some of the countries that we're from. But also one of the other things that we're seeing is that more and more of our children, our young people, have learning difficulties, mental health problems. They've witnessed a whole range of different types of trauma. And although in the UK we say that children don't have life sentences, lots of critics would argue that going through the criminal justice system and coming out and all the implications of that, that indeed they do serve life sentences because it's a whole range of things. Caribbean children are vulnerable to engage in antisocial behaviour and crime. They face challenges of discrimination, challenges in education, little social protection, and vulnerability to exploitation. So there is a racialized dimension to children's welfare systems internationally, which can be linked to diaspora communities. African Canadian children were reported to be overrepresented in the Ontario child welfare system with culturally inappropriate services and support, poorer outcomes for Black children, systematic racism, and structural inequalities. And there's another piece of research that says that 41% of African Canadians below the age of 15 live it below the poverty line, and they're more likely to enter the child welfare system. And you'll know that the welfare system and the juvenile justice, so youth justice, they're very much interlinked. So children end up going through a big cycle in that and end up very often in the prison system, where if they've been involved in the welfare system. So addressing those challenges, right, because we want to leave with something positive, is really a gender-sensitive social protection issue, and it's crucial we think about how we do that. So one of the key solutions lies in investing and empowering women's rights organisations. We have to acknowledge and embrace the fact that they possess the knowledge, the tools, and the determination to reshape societies to be safer, more inclusive, and just. And when projects mobilise women as community facilitators and create safe spaces, they can better reach particularly marginalised communities and make prevention initiatives more effective and address violence. So we need to have an understanding of women's diverse realities. We need to know how different realities of women and influence their experiences of violence allows for them to be more effective in developing strategy and policy. We need to transform learning so that effective prevention requires training for behaviour change, tools like manuals, apps and websites to reinforce best practice and strengthen institutional knowledge. We need to gather that knowledge. We need to look at flexible funding, adapt our approach, and crucially, address changing circumstances. And to effectively implement gender-based violence prevention laws, we need to get people like the police and the government on our side with proper training and have a shift in their mindset. And finally, I want to end on empowering young people. Adolescence, especially for girls, is a critical stage, and I heard that earlier today, for early interventions to prevent violence. Many projects choose to empower young women as agents of change to enhance the outcome of some of the interventions that we have. Youth-led initiatives by the diaspora are effectively raising awareness, driving policy change, fostering a more inclusive and supportive environment for women and girls in their countries of origin. They use their unique position at the intersection of multiple cultures and their first-hand experience of migration to advocate for social protection. So we need to harness all that great ideas that young people have because they are actively engaged in addressing the gender-specific challenges that face them. And they know more than anybody else what it is to be in those situations. By fostering solidarity and community engagement, youth diaspora organisations can play a vital role in building a supportive environment for women and girls and developing their resilience. Girls around the world aren't waiting for change. They are inspiring it. They are challenging injustices. They are defying cultural norms. They're demanding action and they're giving their voice to some of the greatest challenges of this generation. Time and time again, they are demonstrating to all the world that girls are not the problem. They are the solution. The young girls leading for change cannot be the exception. If the world wants to see powerful change, they must invest in powerful girls. And we, all around here, right? We must be the advocates for this change. It is our responsibility to ensure that we lift up those young women to make change. I'm going to end there.
Thank you, Dr. Bailey. Your passion and commitment to empowering young people truly shines through your work. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay, so next we travel all the way to the east coast of Canada, Halifax, where we welcome Salita Short, one of our valued partners at the SPG Association of Ottawa. So we will have the bio played for Salita. Salita will present on Culture in Motion, a diaspora perspective on identity, style, and representation. Meet Salita Short, a Vincentian fashion pioneer redefining possibilities for the diaspora. As founder and creative director of Soli Production Management, she brings over a decade of experience in modeling, coaching, and runway production, developing new talent and championing diversity in the fashion industry. Through initiatives like Style East and documentaries such as Fashionable Great, Salita continues to create platforms for emerging creatives. Under the House of Soli, her agency Soli Management has helped elevate diverse identities, taking her runway productions to global stages including Paris Fashion Week and New York Fashion Week. Salita Short isn't just building platforms, she's building legacy. Okay, it seems like Salita is not there. We can move on to the next speaker. So today's celebration also honors International Women's Day, and we are thrilled to include voices of young women leaders. So let us welcome Ms. Zeta Stevens, Miss SBG 2024. We will have the bio played for Ms. Zeta, and Zeta will present on Beauty with Purpose, empowering women to lead and inspire.
Meet Zeta Stevens, Miss St. Vincent and the Grenadines 2024, a dynamic makeup artist, dancer, and choreographer. By day, she serves as a loan officer at the Kingston Cooperative Credit Union, while aspiring to pursue undergraduate studies in economics. Zeta is also cheer captain and president of the Performing Arts Society dance troupe, where she leads with creativity and passion. Deeply committed to community service, she champions initiatives like the FAM for Endometriosis campaign and serves as an ambassador for the Loud Influencer program. She holds a powerful blend of beauty, brilliance, and purpose.
Zeta, the floor is yours. Sorry, Zeta, you're muted. It's okay.
I'm so sorry. Hi. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon, good night. I am Zeta Stevens, the reigning Miss SVG. I have a little speech prepared, so just give me 1 second. So again, I'm presenting on Beauty with Purpose, empowering women to lead and inspire. Firstly, I'd like to express my gratitude to the SVG Association of Ottawa, the National Council of SVG Associations UK, and Kiwanis Club of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for inviting me to be a part of this event. I'm truly honored to be involved. As a national title holder, people often think that being a pageant queen is based on your looks, talent, and intelligence. And while that may have some merit, being Miss SVG means, as my friend Zara would say, being the face of SVG. What that truly means is that I'm expected to lead by example, be a shining beacon for young women and girls alike, and in some cases, be a voice for the voiceless, representing those women who may feel unseen. In other words, it's like being a beauty but with purpose. Pageantry has long since evolved from the archaic structure of just being about pretty faces and beautiful gowns. Today, pageant contestants and title holders across the globe represent advocacy, leadership, and service. It's more than just a title. It's utilizing your platform and influence to encourage others to be confident, take up space, uplift others, and be a catalyst for positivity. Beauty with purpose means using your voice for something bigger than yourself. And true beauty is seen in kindness, courage, leadership, and empowering those around you. As someone who is not considered to be what's considered the typical size of a pageant girly, I had my doubts about entering Miss SVG, especially as a first timer. I'm proud to say that my win left an impression on women and girls who look like me. Seeing me step on stage and win inspired a level of confidence in them that they hadn't unlocked as yet. That's why I've dedicated my reign to mentoring youth and advocating for female reproductive health awareness as my way of passing on the mantle. It's my hope that as I continue to show up, be present, and use my voice to empower women, despite the self-doubt and negativity that might be hurled at me, others would feel inspired to do the same. I always tell the young girls that I encounter that if you doubt yourself 9 times, you should bet on yourself 10, and that magic happens outside of your comfort zone. Where the youth are concerned, through my work as a Loud Program influencer, I've recognized that quite a number of our secondary school aged girls, they're fighting a deluge of battles, most of them on their own. And that's why it's important for us to mentor the youth so that they have a safe space to blossom and realize their full potential. Working alongside the SCG Association of Endometriosis, Adenomyosis, and PCOS has also made me realize that a lot of women are navigating health issues on their own, often without explanation, and it kind of leads them to feel alienated. So that's another reason why we should amplify our voices and support our women, especially in leadership roles in male-dominated spaces, because we offer different perspectives and a level of understanding. Once we unify, it can alleviate many of the pressures that we experience as women because we no longer feel alone. I can confidently say that I wouldn't be here where I am today, the reigning Miss SCG, without the community of women who breathed life and positivity into me throughout my journey. So that's why it's so important for women to support each other so that we can continue to break barriers and demonstrate our strength and resilience. Speaking of strength and resilience, Nuguya Legulisi, Lira Abuti, Joseph Chatoyer. That translates to I am Gulisi, daughter of Chief Joseph Chatoyer. Gulisi is a pillar of strength and the epitome of resilience. After the exile to Baliso, she led her people to Honduras, where they established a new community. Today, she is remembered for her leadership in preserving Garifuna culture and identity, and the Gulisi Garifuna Museum in Belize stands in her honor. It's important that we honor culture, heritage, and identity because that is how we remain authentic, true to ourselves, and rooted. It ensures that we stay connected to our ancestors while paving the way for the next generation. That Garifuna that I spoke earlier is something I wouldn't have known without the guidance of one of our very own panelists, Ulrika Games, and Garifuna Princess Eulogia. We're all Vincentians, but many of us don't know how to speak our native language. Recently, I even learned Buiti Binafi, which means good morning, and I've concluded that Garifuna is a happy language, and we all need to learn it. So, cheers to the women who make it their mission to preserve traditions and pass their knowledge on to others. Thank you for inspiring future generations and ensuring that our culture, customs, and traditions remain right where they belong, in our minds and hearts. You are also beautiful. Beauty with purpose means using our talents, voices, and platforms to inspire others. I encourage everyone to continue supporting, uplifting, and celebrating women everywhere. Thank you so much again for having me, and I'll be happy to take any questions at the end of the panel.
Thank you, Zeta. You reminded us beautifully that true beauty is about impact, leadership, and uplifting others. Thank you once again. So that is the end of all of our panelists. Up next, we will have our Q&A. But before we move into our Q&A session, let's just take a little short break. You guys can stretch, refill your bush tea, or take a quick moment. Don't go too far, though. We will be right back. In the meantime, enjoy some snippets of this year's Hero Day. Welcome back. We would like to extend sincere thanks to our radio partners, Vin Abbott from Concardi Radio in Toronto, and Monty from Bay Hill News Network, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And a special thanks to Noel, our tech lead, for keeping everything running smoothly. Vin, Monty, and Noel, we salute you. Give them a round of applause. Now let's move into our Q&A session. If you have any questions for any of our panelists, you may post it in the chat or raise your hand and I will invite you to speak. Does anybody have any questions?
In absence of any important questions from our guests, perhaps any of our guests might want to tune in and let us know which part of the participants' speeches they enjoyed most, what they learnt. Any input from our audience will be wonderful. Perhaps you can let us know what you enjoyed most from the event this evening.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Please, this question is for Zayda. I just want to ask Zayda, how did she find the reign of Miss SVG? Is it 2024? What was the experience like, and what would she like to say to other young ladies who sometimes doubt themselves? Because, you know, we're living in a world where every single bit of us, especially ladies, are critiqued. Our teeth's not perfect, we're a bit fat, our nose are too big, our belly's too big. What advice would you give to a young lady who would actually like to walk in your footsteps, enter the queen competition, but yet she's feeling not too sure, or she's uncomfortable about herself?
One sec. Thank you so much for that question. So the thing is, ironically enough, me being Miss SVG is kind of groundbreaking in the sense that I really am not the typical size for a pageant girl. Usually people expect girls that enter pageants to be slimmer, and I am really a full-figured woman. And it definitely took a lot of courage. You definitely have to believe in yourself. You have to have confidence. I would also say that you have to be able to know how to block out the noise and block out the negativity, because it can get to you, but you have to know how to navigate that situation. In terms of my reign, honestly, I've had a lot of fun. I've been able to do a lot of things that I never expected that I'd be able to. I actually traveled internationally last year in October. I went to Taiwan for a sustainable tourism program. I've been working along with the Ministry of Tourism and the Tourism Authority to do basically promotional work for tourism as well. I've continued my work as a loud program influencer and everything. The only thing that I haven't been able to do during my reign is compete regionally, like in another pageant. And initially I was feeling a little bummed out about it. I was kind of sad. I felt like I wasn't enough. But a friend of mine basically showed me that me being Miss SVG and doing all these other things have kind of shown that I'm able to show to all those young girls that are looking up to me what Miss SVG can be outside of pageantry. So that's why I've been so focused on trying to make my reign impactful, trying to use my voice for different causes. I have also been working along with the SVG Association for endometriosis, adenomyosis, and PCOS. So it's basically raising awareness about different reproductive health issues that women face. And it's something that I'm very passionate about because I actually have a lot of family members that have these sort of issues. And certain things I've just never heard about until I became an adult, like endometriosis. I never knew about that before. And the more you have conversations with other women, you realize that that's something that a lot of them do have issues with. And another thing is that after I won, a lot of women actually approached me and they said seeing me win gave them that newfound confidence because they didn't feel confident in themselves because they were probably like a little on the bigger side and their coworkers or family members might have been bullying them or making them feel uncomfortable. But what people don't realize is that issues like PCOS and endometriosis, they actually can cause you to have, well, it's a hormonal imbalance most of the times. So it causes you to gain weight and it causes you to have a stomach that people think, oh, you're pregnant or something, but you just have an enlarged stomach because of those issues. So I'm just happy that I'm able to use my voice to just raise awareness about these things. Because the more you have conversation with women, you might think that it's strange, but you realize it's a lot more common than a lot of people think that it is. So in terms of advice for any young girl, though, that's interested in entering Miss SCG, I would say that one, you definitely have to be probably a little delusional in the sense that you have to really pin it to the forefront of your brain that, okay, I'm gonna win no matter what, regardless if I'm a thicker girl or anything like that, regardless of my background, I can push through, I can do this, and there's nothing that's going to stop me from doing this. And you just have to believe in yourself, basically. Yeah.
You're beautiful, Zeta. I thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question for Dante, if you don't mind. Thank you so much, Zada. You and I can really go along for somebody who wears a hat when coming to women issues and to tell people, I shut the tell as I work with young people. People's opinion of you is not your business. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Continue to amplify your voice. Keep shining out there. You on the right track.
Thank you.
I just have one question for Dante. Dante, you still here with us? If
Yeah,
he's still here with us.
yeah, still here.
Yes, he is.
Okay, you're here. Let me say it again, thank you so much for taking the opportunity to join us. I know it's Sunday afternoon, evening for some of our colleagues in the UK, and we promise you we are about to wrap up slowly here. But Dante, when we think of you with this film and help me here, I'm not so sure if it was part of Carifesta last year or part of Haruna piece there. As a young person, as a Vincentian, tell me how that impacted you and inspiring you to continue into your craft.
What making the film or the film being in the festival?
In the festival itself, yeah.
Oh, I think it was in. I don't think it was in. No, it was in Carifesta. Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't get to attend the festival. But whenever I get approached to show this film or get the opportunity to show the film, it gives me a sense of like the message being received, and that's normally what the goal is for me when I make films. And the most important thing is that it's what's being said is understood. And this is a driving force behind me being a director, is being able to tell these true and honest stories, and having it being received in the way that I envisioned it. This is something that I always hold very close to myself as a creator, and trying to always be honest and sensual in the things that I produce.
Thank you so much. And we will continue to showcase you we're going to continue the journey. And I think you do have some piece that we pulled with our Caribbean. We hope to see a Caribbean piece because here in Canada, we are going to approach the CARICOM High Commissioners here to have a CARICOM Film Festival to celebrate CARICOM Day. It's a conversation we want to take across the globe that film is also a power piece of our tourism, and we will continue to keep that voice going, and hopefully one day here in Canada, we will able to have our very first Vincentian film screening right here in Toronto. So stay tuned. Take it back to my colleagues. I'm sure they maybe have questions. And if we can maybe just have two more and then try to wrap it up for our panelists. As I always said, I like to keep time, respect people's weekend. Thanks again.
Can I say so? Oh, have you got time?
Oh no, please go ahead, Pam.
No, I was saying like it's for me being here and the Queen. I saw her in St. Vincent. I took photo of her. For me, when I heard the children singing that song, and because I was up at the obase when they did the ceremony, that when they were singing that song by the River of Babylon, I fill up with tears because it was so passionate. You know, everything was so, it brings it alive. And even because I was there and being and here on the platform, it just brings everything alive. It's so beautiful that we need to continue. It's something that we need to continue. And even when I was able to go across to Ballysod, even though I didn't get on, but that experience and just to see the film, everything is just so beautiful that, you know, we got a culture that we need to build on. We need to just keep going, really. So it was really nice. And to the speeches of the young lady, you know, the Queen, that, you know, I mean, sometimes we don't fit into the norm, but we just have to continue. And I think it's an example for others to just follow. It's beautiful, really beautiful.
Thank you very much, Ms. Simon, for sharing. And I agree with you. That's wonderful for your input. Thank you very much. We do have a question from our audience chat. And Glenn would like to ask, at what level, what educational level, the Garifuna language is taught in SVG and when it started? So if someone is able to answer that question. I'm afraid I cannot. So do we have someone that could answer that question?
I'm happy to. Okay, so sorry about that. I'll let you go ahead there.
No, you carry on. It's fine.
Okay. Thank you so much for asking that question. I popped out for a little bit, so I did miss some things, mainly because of my Wi-Fi issue. But I would want to tell you that the Garifuna language is being taught in schools recently of 2026 and of 2025 by the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I would say from kindergarten up until grade 1. And in fancy government school had a little bit more of the teachings because of the same persons from the retrieval workshop, Mr. James Lavelle.
That's perfect. Thank you very much, Eureka, for answering that question. Glenn, I know you have your hand up. Was that the question you wanted asked, or did you have something else?
Yes. Can I just say something? Is that okay?
Sure, go ahead.
Yes. Well, thanks, Dante and the organizers, for putting this together. I think the 2 hours was actually, you know, a wide variety and combination that actually, you know, it's as a Vincentian, as a Garifuna, it's a pride to actually see that there is a younger generation that is actually embracing the culture and actually the speaking of the language also. That is very, very encouraging. So it's very it's very good to showcase this, and I appreciate the time and the opportunity to actually, you know, be a part of it in terms of listening it really, and be reminded that there is actually a group of individuals who would showcase their heritage and make sure that it's actually properly archived really for future generation. So I think that's what I want to say in terms of thanks really for putting this together and, you know, reminding us really, that that there are individuals who are actually bringing their creativity together to make sure that it's actually properly archived and can reach a wider sort of audience. Because the Vincentian history is a very rich history, and it's very good that we can actually identify it like that and market it in that capacity as what it is, distinct from other history also, and vibrant in a sense. So I'm very much proud to actually listen, hear the diversity, see the children, and actually hear the authenticity that is coming out in terms of the experiences and the way it's actually been narrated, and the way it's actually been spoken. Really, it's there is that authenticity underneath it, that it's rich, really, and we should keep it in that fashion. Because there is something there to market, there is something there to actually showcase, and I'm hoping that it will actually take momentum, really.
That's great. Thank you very much for your comments. I appreciate that. We have one final question from our audience chat that we'll go through. And if anyone can answer for our audience member, does anyone know how the yellow and black became the Garifuna colours? If somebody's able to answer that. It doesn't appear we have someone that knows the history of the Garifuna colours at the moment, but it is something that we can all go forward and research for ourselves to make sure that we do have awareness of that. So thank you very much for asking your question. We are going to wrap up now. So thank you, Marion, first of all, for keeping us on track for that last portion of our Q&A and our panel. We appreciate that greatly. We have had a really powerful conversation between ourselves. We've had a wonderful and truly amazing evening learning more about our heritage and our culture. And we really appreciate everyone that tuned in this afternoon, this evening, everyone that participated. So thank you very, very much. This is an annual celebration, so please stay connected for updates on our third edition. And we'd love to hear from you to send us topics or films you'd like to see and bring them to your screens. I'll give very brief personal thanks. And they are for our dignitaries and our special guests: Kankadi Radio, Bay Hill News Network, Suzette at SVG Association of Ottawa, Deanna Stapleton at the NCSVGA, the Kiwanis Club of SVG, as well as Dante Olivier and Ulrika Games Trail. Thank you very much. I will now hand over to the Kiwanis Club of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for our closing remarks.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. So I am charged with giving the closing remarks on this auspicious and very timely presentation today on the I Am Garifuna. So once again, we'd like to say sincere thanks to Felicia and Marion for guiding us so seamlessly this evening. And wherever you're at, just give them a round of applause. They did such an excellent job. And we're giving you a Vinci applause, all right? And this is how we do it, all right? To our guests, thank you for staying with us until the very end. You are the reason this event exists. And I want you to know, my listening audience, that no matter where you joined from, you are the unity in the community. And I will repeat that. No matter where you joined us from today, you are the unity in the community. And for that, we appreciate you. All right? Minister John, thank you for being with us live despite your demanding schedule. Your presence truly means a lot. To our Garifuna family from Belize, we say thank you for your powerful reminder. We hear you and we remain committed to doing our part and moving the work forward. To our panelists, you definitely inspired us, and we are so proud of you, and we will continue to stand with you and also support you. To Reverend Pam, we say thank you for your uplifting and heartfelt blessing, and we give thanks and we give praise. Adonai, it is always a joy to have our youth represented. We say thank you for sharing your words in the Garifuna language. Very powerful and meaningful. To Noel, our tech lead, thank you for ensuring everything runs smoothly behind the scenes. We truly appreciate you. And to our community radio partners, Vin Abbott, Concardi, and Toronto, just mentioned, as well as Monty and the Bay Hill News Network in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We say thank you for keeping our diaspora connected. We see you, we celebrate you, and we thank you. All right? Ubuntu. I hope I got that right. We are because of you. On behalf of the Planning Committee, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Association of Ottawa, President Suzette Smallweeks and Marian Duncan, the National Council of St. Vincent and the Grenadines Association, the United Kingdom, Chair Denise Stapleton, Pamela Samuel, and Felicia Duncan, and the Kiwanis Club of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the President, yours truly, Cordero Tellisford, we thank you so much for joining us for the second edition of I Am Garifuna, a celebration of women, heritage, and heroism. All right? And I also would like to publicly thank our Miss SVG, none other than Zeta Stevens. We thank you so much for your beautiful presentation. And as per usual, you always represent us very well. So my listening audience, I want you to save the date, March 28, 2027. Let's continue to celebrate and uplift Garifuna culture every day. Not just today, not just tomorrow. As I just said, every day. All right? And for that being said, I am Cordero Jeremy Aljic Telesford. Thank you so much and good evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate you being here with us and for your final remarks. I think all there's left to do now is to thank everybody for their participation. Unless any of our SVG associations would like to pop in and say a few words. Otherwise, I am able to wish a very good afternoon, good night to you all. Sarah May, to all of our guests, thank you for being here. Thank you to our audience and the whole diaspora across the world for joining us this evening. This has been a wonderful night, and please look forward to the next one. Any further comments from anyone else?
Yes. Just a second. Thank you guys again for everything. And I know folks will be asking where to see the documentary. We will follow up with a survey and we will include that link inside of bio, as well as our wonderful panelists and as well as any of our Garifuna family. Please put your stuff here as well in the chat box or send them by us via email svgautoassociation@gmail.com, and we will have all of that in the survey for everybody to take a look at everything. Till then, as they always said, you are because I am. Ubuntu.
Good night, all. Thank you all very much.
Good night to you. Good night, to
everyone.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, Petra is on.
Yes, Denise.